Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. You didn't lead the Warriors. You go to the Clippers. What was your experience like with the Clippers?
Terrible, man.
Was it hard for you growing up, being so LA, growing up in South Central?
It was.
Then you go to the Clippers and not the Lakers? Was that hard for you?
It was very hard. Like, I always wanted to play for the Lakers and go and be a Laker, like, my entire career. Every time I tried, and then I was like, well, fuck it. I guess I'm the underdog guy. So I go to the Clippers. In 3 years, I'd be able to create a we believe type of magic with the Clippers if we can get the right, people involved and shit. And then, like, going to the Clippers, bro, was like the worst. It was like the worst. I thought the Warriors was bad. Like, it was like a bad soap opera. The Clippers, bro, was like a bad soap opera in prison.
What?
Bro, it's like it's like, imagine going to art class and they take all your paint and your tools, you know what I mean, and all your paint brushes. Then they give them back to you. When you painting, they be hitting your elbow, saying, "Nah, you ain't doing it." Mm-hmm. It's like it was. You walk into the Warrior facility, you're like, all right, cool, I can hoop. You walk into the Clippers facility, you're like, man, who is about to snitch on me now? Where are these fucking cameras at? You know what I mean? And who's crying today? Somebody is crying today. Somebody is pissed off, crying. And it's all because of the owner. You walk in, community relations lady, she boo-hooing and shit. Like, what's wrong? Like, oh, geez. I'm like, oh, man, now, before I get to the gym, bro, I got to have all kind of diplomatic conversations. You know what I mean?
This is Donald Sterling.
This is Donald Sterling and the Clippers with Mike Dunleavy coaching. So I leave Nelly, man, I go to Mike Dunleavy, who's like a little bit like Mike Montgomery. He just got more personality, and he, you know what I mean? He got more stories to tell. But Mike Dunleavy will tell you what play to call, who you supposed to throw the ball to, where you supposed to go. All in the game.
That's just like the old school way of coaching, because the Van Gundys were like that, weren't they?
Bro, I don't know. I ain't never played for them.
I heard they were like that.
I'm pushing the break. We get to steal. I'm pushing the break. I'm just about to cross half court. He like, man, pass it. All you hear is going, pass it. Pass it. And I don't see nobody. You know what I mean? So I'm like, pass. And I keep hearing, man, pass the ball. And I see somebody over here. So I'm about to go. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I see somebody run. I'm like, okay, so somebody must be hauling ass. So I dropped it by the hash. Mm-hmm. Man, it was, no offense, it was Paul Davis. He coming off of knee surgery. Bro, it took him like 7 dribbles to get to the rim from there. And so, it's like you look at the coach like, what the fuck, yo? Like, leave me alone, yo. So that's how it was with Dunleavy, but then with Sterling, it was like, he used the team as like his, like almost like his duck off, like his little duck off business. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So like his PR, everything, all the shit that he did was all through the team.
Okay.
And then he was just a weirdo, bro. He was just hella weird with weird people around him. And I felt like anybody who hung around that dude had to be a weird motherfucker. You know what I mean? Because like he was like beyond weird. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And not that he was racist. He was a hate everybody is.
So it wasn't even that he just hated black people. He hated everybody.
Bro, he hated everybody. He probably hated himself. Like he was delusional and hateful. So he would say anything to anybody. Woman, man, black, brown. Man, he brought some old ass ladies in at the end of the one of the games and was like, man, when we get all right, bro. I'm gonna leave that alone.
No, you cannot tell me now.
Hey, bro, they walk in, bro. It's like 7 old-ass white ladies, right? And he walk in the locker room, we had one. And then he had walk out. He was like, man, you wait for them to get in the shower. And then he pointed at me and he was like, especially him. Like, you should. And this lady was just hanging out at my locker room talking. I was like, hey, yo. And I'm sitting there just like she a reporter, so I'm very respectful and shit. But she just talking like, where are you from? Oh, you went there? I'm like, bitch, get
So
like
you're
waiting for me to get up. You know what I mean? Like, it was foul, bro. It was like, it was hella foul.
So when the thing happens in 2000,
I could have sued for sexual harassment.
Facts. That's what I was just thinking.
Yeah, bro, trauma, all that shit.
That's crazy.
Hey, bro, it was the worst. And I'm from LA, so you got to think, I'm from LA. I ain't hooping. I ain't playing the way I normally know how to play. They plotting against me every day. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And every day I leave this place, I'm trying not to. I'm just trying to come here and work and hoop. Y'all about to make me turn into somebody I don't want to be.
Mm.
So I'm struggling with that. And then you got the homies like egging on, hey, why you play like that, man? You a buster, you gonna let it? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I used to think about it every night. Like, man, am I gonna walk in here and lose my mind? I used to tell people on the team, they were so scary, yo. I used to tell dudes, man, run down the sideline. You know what I mean? So they were like, no, man, no. I was like, I throw the ball on the side. Like, nah, I used to go to the game thinking like that. Like, Draymond, run down the left. When you pass the owner, I'm going to throw the ball as hard as I can and try and pop him in the face. And the dude be like, nah, man, I'm not doing that.
Not running pass.
I'm like, just one time. But that's just one time. But nobody would do it.
So when this story comes out in 2014, you're not at all shocked.
Nah, hell nah. Like, I was more surprised that they were, like, I couldn't do it, bro. I was struggling with so much. My identity, who I was, where I was from, all this shit, bro. Like, is this dude racist? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'd never been in no shit. Like, I've been in some bad shit. I ain't never been in no shit where I feel depressed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I had more admiration for those dudes because I was like, they must have figured out how to like win for themselves and not include him. You know what I mean? And not think that they win. And he, you know, it was hard because it was like, man, if we win, he win. And then it's more of that shit. And it's like, you like that shit, you don't know what you win it. You don't know what you're playing for at some point. You know what I mean?
That's interesting.
And we didn't have enough, like we wasn't like crystallized enough. You know, Blake was a rookie and all that. And so everything was catered to Blake. So Blake wasn't really aware of like, at some point, bro, they gonna pit people against you too. You know what I mean? Like the more attention you get, definitely this ain't the type of attention you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I admired the fact that them dudes were able to play like that and build a team like that. And I was like, damn, dude, like you never thought that they would get the talent. And once you got the talent and start winning, it was like he didn't matter. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so when they I was at that game too.
Really?
Yeah, I went to the Clipper locker room.
Okay.
I was at that game.
Was crazy, man.
Because I needed to ride back on the plane with the dude who was like at the time like the right hand person of the owner.
Okay.
And I needed to ride back on the plane. I needed him to see us on this private plane. You know what I mean? And it was just 4 people, and I need to sit there and sing. Mm-hmm.
Have you watched the show clip?
Absolutely not. Hell no, I don't watch that goofy shit.
I haven't watched it.
Hey, bro, that's
I haven't watched it. I don't know what.
But then I think like by the time all that shit came out, it was like that shit was already happening. So people took, you know, and then you take your jersey off and throw that. I went in the locker room because Doc was like, man, go talk to him. I was like, man, what y'all gonna do? Man, shit, I'm waiting for them to be like, BD, what you think, man? Whatever y'all think. If y'all don't want to play, I stand beside you. I was going to go over there and be like, yo, da-da-da-da-da. Them fools did not look like they was shook. It was just like, what are we supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, that was the energy. Like, they didn't know. They were caught into something that nobody on that team was prepared for or had an opinion of. You know what I mean? Or was really privy to, you know, because they hadn't, maybe they hadn't had to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At that time, like, that was just some whole other shit that his girlfriend snitched him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And ratted him out. So it wasn't like, we don't know his dynamic and effect on that team, you know.
Yeah.
We just know like who he was and what he was doing and, you know, how he was talking shit about Magic and people like that.
Speaking of Magic, so being from LA, also played with the Clippers. It's my last question on the Clippers, but I need to know this because I think I know the answer to this. If the Clippers were to win a championship, what does that do to the city of LA?
Nothing. No, I'm just
Nothing. Do you think the city wouldn't care if the Clippers won a championship?
No. I think the city would care. I think like the Clippers have their own fan base. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would be as big media coverage as the Lakers.
Okay.
Right. I would. I don't think it would be. You get a local city turnout.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the Clipper fans are great. The Clipper fans are incredible. You know, you go all the way from the South Bay to the Valley. And I would say, you know what? I would say I take that back because now the Clippers are actually putting in the work in the city with the courts. You know, Ballmer, new owner, they're doing a good job, man. And can they do a better job? Of course, you know, to just establish more. Like, they got to tell a better story.
Yeah.
And they can't be afraid to tell a story of their past, of a losing story, you know what I mean? Because they so accomplished now that they have to cuss of winning, which I'm not going to say the city, you ain't going to turn the city, you know what I mean? But you got players on the team that's from the city.
That's a fact.
That can bring the city out.
That's a fact.
So the Clippers got to do a better job of like bringing the city out. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the Lakers is an LA team.
Yes,
people got tattoos, you know, yellow bumper stickers and shit on green cars. Like, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a city thing. And people don't remember, like, when the Lakers, back when I was a kid, they used to have tryouts for everybody in the city. Tryout for the Lakers.
That's crazy. Really?
Yeah. So it was always like a LA legend or like some LA high school legend who wound up on the Lakers.
That's
preseason. It's sick.
That's crazy.
But
that's dope, though.
That's super dope, right? Because it's like LA is a basketball town. Dr. Buss respected that, and he respected, you know, like you look around, like all the kids at AAU, like this is a real basketball city. And so, like, for them to embrace that at that time, you know, but I think the Clippers had the same chance to like really dive into like all this dope local talent and local talent that's been in the league that live here to like build their own culture, and then they can turn the city.
No doubt, no doubt. A few more questions before we get
out of here. Because the Lakers stars are like sideline stars are getting old. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the Hollywood shit ain't sticking no more. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, if Denzel is here, that's Denzel. But like, who else? Who else is moving the needle? It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, if Denzel at the game. But who else is like the Lakers ain't refurbished, they ain't updated they star and legacy roster for them to be.
No, I never thought about LeBron, that. That's, you know, facts. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, they need to.
That's an interesting thought.
They need to rotate them seats, bro. Get some new stars. Like Kevin Hart, he ain't no Laker fan.
He not.
Philly. You know what I mean? But he don't be at the game when they kick Lil Wayne out. He was going to the games. Now didn't they ban Lil Wayne?
Yeah, I heard.
So Clippers can do all that shit.
Yeah.
And they can actually turn the city by with the young Hollywood stars and rappers and, just piggybacking off like really the city vibe.
You know the beautiful thing about being a sports fan? There's only like 2 days the whole year without a game. 2. With so much happening and so much action, that makes just about every day game day at DraftKings Sportsbook. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. Try betting on something simple like picking a team to win. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select your team, and place your first bet. It really couldn't be any easier or any simpler. Baseball, golf, UFC, there's something for every fan of every sport to bet on DraftKings. And I know it's early, but football season will be here before you know it. And the Kansas City Chiefs are currently the favorite to win the Super Bowl on DraftKings at plus 550. And if you're new to DraftKings, you got to check this out. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. That's code HOOPS for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.